The next match,
you got to see women perform
yes,
comparable to the men and nail it.
mm-hmm.
So that's what I really liked about it.
Go out of your way to watch this next one because it's an interesting match. First of all, if you're a fan of the Click or you're a fan of the Outsiders, it's Razor Ramon versus Diesel for the Intercontinental Championship. Shawn Michaels is in Diesel's corner, and Walter Peyton in Chicago is in Razor Ramon's corner. Man, there's a lot going on here. This feels big time. We know that, the following year we're going to use Lawrence Taylor and he's going to be involved here. But goodness gracious, talk to us about Scott Hall and Kevin Nash as Razor and Diesel for the Intercontinental title. And somehow Shawn Michaels isn't wrestling on the card and he's just standing across from Walter Payton. This is wild. What do you remember about how this came to be?
Two most important guys in that match were on the outside of the ring, and Shawn Michaels and Walter Payton.
Right?
So look, man, I thought the match itself was excellent, told a great story. And Walter Payton, sweetness himself from Chicago, one of the greatest Bears of all time, one of the greatest just professional football players of all time. I can't say enough good things about Walter Payton because he was so good, on the money, understood. When the guys were in the back going over their matches and they couldn't remember stuff, Walter remembered every single spot. Walter was telling the other guys where to go and what to do during that match. That's how good Walter Payton was. Razor got confused and Walter says, no, you need to over here and do this and what have you. That's how good Walter Payton was. And an absolute joy to work with. Was there on time, had a great attitude, had fun. Man, hats off, because he was not only a great football player, he was a great human being. And he is up there at the top of the list as far as people from outside of our world coming into our world and picking it up and having respect for it and nailing it and help make a Razor Diesel match be everything that it could have been and more. So this is one of my favorite matches as well, just because of watching and knowing the backstory of it and just seeing how good, how much that Walter added to it and how much help he was putting it together. You take two of the biggest stars in the business and Razor and Diesel, man, and you add that, Shawn on the outside. Again, not enough good things, but you go back and watch it and go, fuck, man, that was good.
Super fun. And it's fun to see Walter Payton celebrating in the ring with his son after the match. Shawn Michaels, it's been well established at this point, was not always easy to get along with and do business with in this era. How was he with, I know he's Mr. WrestleMania and blah, blah, blah. Has a lot of pride in his in-ring work. But here, he's not wrestling on the show, but he's working with Walter Payton. Was Shawn proud of that fact? Is he excited about it, or did he feel like it was less?
Shawn loved it.
Yeah.
I think Shawn liked having the night off.
There you go.
And was such an integral part of the match and being able to work with Walter Payton. I think Shawn really enjoyed it because he wasn't having to go out there and take all the bumps and do everything. So I think he was happy about that.
I know that you talked about how great Walter Payton was to deal with, but how did it originally come together? Did y'all reach out to his team, or did he reach out to y'all, or somebody in between?
So Walter had a charity, and we did a lot of work with Walter's charity, and it just, the relationship was there. It's Chicago. Hey man, would you like to be a part of this? And he jumped at the opportunity to be involved. And I don't think that we paid him. I think we gave a donation to his charity in lieu of a payment.
Let's talk a little bit about the Click working together. Like, we've heard different folks, and it always gets spun negatively. And I understand that's just for clicks and conversation and what have you, but we would see on a pretty regular basis people taking issue with the clique. And even after Sean won the belt in 96, when someone asked him, it was Brett would discuss that once Sean won the belt, he said that Sean he wanted to work with his friends. He wanted to work with guys in the clique. And here we have all those guys in the same match with Walter Payton. Is this a way to sort of keep everybody happy and keep the peace? They're all thrilled working together. No issues here, I guess is what I'm driving at.
No, of course they're all thrilled working together because they are all friends and they did like working with one another. But this was the logical story with where we were at the time.
Yeah. And it's a fun story too. You know, they're teasing the whole breakup of Sean and Diesel, which means, hey, instead of us tagging together, we're going to be wrestling each other. And we know that is the direction we're headed for 1995. Like, I know that, you know, we're letting Razor beat Diesel here for the Intercontinental title. And once upon a time, the Intercontinental title was sort of a transitional belt to get you from, hey, a guy on the card to a guy with some momentum to, okay, now he's ready for the world title. It was on your way. I've even called it before with Jeff Jarrett. It was the assistant manager title. Before you get the big belt, you get the Intercontinental belt. And since we're going to have Diesel lose here, we do have him walk out as the tag champ to start the show. So he's still got some gold. Did you know at this point we're going to Sean and Diesel next year at WrestleMania?
No.
Okay.
No, not really. Not at all. Actually, no, not at all. Kind of came over probably another month, you know, where the audience reaction to Diesel just became so strong and undeniable. You sit out and you listen to the audience go, oh shit, we got a baby face on our hands. And, you know, sometimes it may be a night here or there, maybe half a night here or there. But, man, when it's consistent every night and it grows, you know what you've got. So it wasn't there yet. It was on its way, but I'd say it probably took about another month. And then it was like, oh, my God.
This was right in front of us the whole time.
How didn't you guys see this?
Yeah. SaveWithConrad.com.
Mark Taggart from Rantoul, Illinois. My wife started the process with one of the big major corporations, and things were going very badly. And finally, I just stopped and said, hey, listen, I've been listening to the ads for years. Let's go with Save with Conrad and see what we can have happen. We were trying to free up a little space so we could spend down some debt and do some home improvements. We saved quite a bit, and in the long run, we're going to do a lot better with Save with Conrad than we would have anywhere else. It was absolutely beautiful. You know, like Larry and Francis were they were the greatest. Not only were they professional and knew what they were talking about, they were friendly and they cared about the job they were doing, which was so important to me. I would absolutely recommend Save with Conrad to anybody. Hi, this is Mark Taggart from Rantoul, Illinois, and I wanted to do some home improvements and spend down a little debt, and I got hold of Save with Conrad, and we did incredibly.
NMLS number 2129, Equal Housing Lender.
SaveWithConrad.com.